How's it going, everyone? Toasty here with another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle guide. Today we're going to be going over what units we can buy with the God Dragon Stone and which ones are the most valuable to purchase. Just like the Banner vs Banner video, we'll be jumping into this under the guise of a new player with hardly any or none of these characters in our box. Before we get started, just like always, any and all websites used in the creation of this video will be linked in the description below. Now let's get on to the video. The God Dragon Stone is a recurring stone gifted to everyone upon login of a major celebration. The number of characters this stone has allowed us to purchase has become a pretty long list of Extreme Z Awakenable units that can all be useful in their own right. We only get one stone to exchange, so we have to make sure we know exactly what we're getting ourselves into. Before we get into the list, keep in mind that all of these cards have an EZA and will be judged based on their EZA form rather than in their standard TUR form. As to not waste anyone's time, let's go ahead and get started with the units that I consider the best of the bunch we're able to buy. These 7 cards are all excellent choices that should be first priority when it comes to thinking over who to purchase. They currently sit in a good priority order, so the way I've displayed them on screen is a good guide to which of these units should be taking priority. Strength Super Gogeta is hands down the best offensive unit offered by this Godstone. High attack and a good defense along with a nuke passive skill that allows him to stack even more attack on top of the fact that he's super effective against all types makes him a no-brainer for just about every category he fits into. Speaking of categories, he has 6, 5 of which I and many others would consider pretty high tier categories in the current day meta. Int Janemba, being the counterpart to Gogeta back when they released during the year 1 anniversary, was bound to be a formidable opponent. He has high defense and excellent defensive abilities like being able to evade enemy attacks, including super attacks, and having his guard active at all times. Not to mention he has a solid attack boost and he can even stack more attack once he activates his guard, which will be basically every attack he receives. Unfortunately, he only has 2 categories, but on the bright side, he's a shoo-in for both teams and even more so on other extreme-based teams. The father-son Gallic Gun duo has come a long way from where they started before their EZA. Tech Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is a solid choice for almost all 8 of the categories he's in. He has good attack and defense boost of 90%, plus he buffs allies with 30% attack and defense boost with 2 or more Vegeta family category units on the team. This sounds really restrictive, but it just so happens to be that there's no shortage of top tier cards in the Vegeta family category that can be run alongside this Vegeta. Physical Super Saiyan Trunks being one of them, acting as the more support-oriented of the two, capable of granting all allies attack and defense 30% and Ki plus 2 with no restriction, and if run with the same restriction as Vegeta, he himself gains attack and defense plus 70%. Trunks is on 7 categories rather than 8, but he's a solid support option for every single one of those teams and an excellent option for the Saiyan-based teams. Strength Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is one of the best tank units in the game, second to only the Golden Frieza units. He reduces the amount of damage he receives by 80% for 10 turns. Most fights don't even last 10 turns, so the turn restriction isn't something to be too worried about. He doesn't do much damage, but once his enemy is stunned, which he can do on his own might I add, he gains 120% attack boost to balance out the lack of base damage. Physical Kid Buu is one of the best extreme support units and altogether one of the best support units to run due to his support passive not being restricted to just extreme types. All allies attack and defense plus 50% and Ki plus 2 when HP is above 80%, or attack and defense plus 30% when HP is 79% or below. Buu is particularly useful for events that require you to nuke an enemy, but his support is very versatile and definitely very useful on all 5 categories he's a part of. Strength Broly, like the father-son Gallic Gun duo, has come such a long way from where he first started out. The first Dokkan Fest unit in the game, Broly lacks the longevity to stay in the meta for more than a short stint upon release. Nowadays, he can be used to absolutely steamroll the World Tournament game mode similarly to his LR counterpart, attacking all on super and raising his own attack without sacrificing his defense stat. Much more attainable and way more versatile than the LR Broly due to the ability to retain defense unlike LR Broly, Strength Broly sets himself up to be a great pick for all 6 categories he's a part of. That covers our top picks, so let's get on to the honorable mentions, then we'll just casually gloss over most of the cards remaining from there. AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a very good option for attack-based units on teams like Super Saiyan 3 and movie heroes. But he just misses out on the top tier picks as his 7-turn restriction does begin to rear its head when using him on teams like Super Saiyan 3 or Majin Buu Saga. The other teams he's a part of just straight up overshadow him and his usefulness with their massive roster of high damage dealing units. AGL Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta is also very good, but we can consider him just missing out on the top tier as he has to build up half of his total defense over the course of the battle. The Beerus units are typically run in tandem with the LR Beerus and Whis since they don't link very well with any other top tier units that aren't other Beerus cards, so that heavy restriction on versatility keeps him here. Cell is excellent at taking and dealing damage, but requires a whole lot of key orbs to do it consistently, which just isn't always possible to supply him with. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan has great versatility with how many categories he's on and deals good damage, especially with Super Saiyan Goku on the team, but without him he falls short pretty quickly compared to alternatives that can be used on his best teams. Int Cooler is a very good support unit and likely would be in the top picks with or actually instead of Kid Buu had it not been for the fact that he has an extreme type only restriction. Physical Super Saiyan Goku has solid attack and defense with excellent stun and critical hit utility in his kit, but he just doesn't fit on too many teams, and those he does fit on just have better alternatives. Finally, Strength Evil Buu has solid attack and defense, but his 20% debuff to enemies is where it's at. Lack of good links with non-Buu characters and a more limited set of categories holds him back by just that much. So with honorable mentions out of the way, here are the rest. Solid units and there's nothing wrong with them, it's just that the others in this group are just so much better. Before I close this one out, I want to mention that if you happen to have any or all of the top picks, I personally value buying a new card over a dupe for a specific card in most cases aside from getting the initial path opened up for Super Gogeta. So if you already had these units and were wondering if you should pick up dupes over the new characters, my opinion is that new characters are the way to go because they grow your overall team variety, and that variety is worth so much in this game at this stage. Either way, I've just about said what I wanted to, so if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment below what you would like to see me do next. If you didn't like the video, or feel like I missed something important, go ahead and dislike and let me know what you think I could be doing better moving forward, but for now, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.